afternoon, it's Adam and Sam back with more wrestling news. Sam, how are you since about 4 hours ago?
Doing grand, mate. How are you?
I'm great. Should we look at the headline?
Look at that. It's dead down the current. I'm great, yeah.
I'm A-okay.
The wrestling news.
Can't wait to talk about this. Here we go. WWE staff are reportedly unhappy with a recent hire. Vince McMahon shot down a recently released star's title win, and a championship match has been added to Hell in a Cell. We'll get there in a bit. So, kicking things off with some pretty troubling news. This is coming from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and it's regarding the hiring of Jamie Horowitz as Executive Vice President of Development and Digital. And the quote from the Observer is that this hire has led to at least some ire from women working in WWE, and this is because of what has gone down in Horowitz's past. He was fired from Fox Sports in 2017 after harassment allegations surfaced against him regarding his behaviour with a female production assistant. Reports stated that he tried to kiss her and said that if she agreed with him, he could get her more work. The Fox Sports president said at the time of his firing, "Everyone at Fox Sports, no matter what role we play or what business function or show we contribute to, should act with respect and adhere to professional conduct at all times. These values are non-negotiable." This is believed to be another Nick Khan hire, right?
Yeah, I mean, with his background in wider sports and everything that's been going on recently, the people we've been seeing come in, it would fall in line with, you know, the type of person that Nick Khan is bringing into the company. But it's just concerning on many levels. And, you know, the company's going to have to kind of address this, I feel.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think we would have heard a little bit more about this by now. It's obviously somebody with, you know, as far as WWE's corporate values and all that stuff goes, it's... I'm surprised it hasn't kicked off already. We will keep you updated if we hear any more on the matter. Moving on, AEW star blasting WWE as cowards. What's gone down here, Sam?
Absolute cowards. So, you know, FTR are about as close as we can get to real old school fun these days outside of the NWA.
Yeah.
So, you know, it should come as no surprise that they're pretty vocal as well. We know they're quite vocal about, you know, their taste in wrestling. But then WWE, or specifically the WWE Network, put out a tweet for promoting hashtag Tag Team Week.
Happy hashtag tag team week, by the way. I'm really sorry, I forgot earlier to... your present is on its way. Amazon's...
You didn't get me on Anderson, did you? You didn't get me on Anderson.
Stop.
Oh. No, they put out a tweet saying the WWE Network account... what am I even reading? They put out a tweet that said it was the rivalry that revolutionized tag team wrestling. But which duo was better, the Midnight Express or the Rock and Roll Express? Hashtag Tag Team Week. Remember, you've got to get your gifts in. Dax Harwood then replied to this with, "Put the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette in your Hall of Fame, you cowards," with 4 exclamation points. Now,
This is the new turning up in a tank or a jeep, right? Isn't it? You can do it so easily now.
Just
you just couldn't do this 20 years ago. Yeah, right. You can just take shots and people will see it. And then losers like us will report on it, and it's big controversy. He's just having a bit of a laugh. But you know what? In seriousness, he's right, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's completely right. I mean, given the, you know, everything that the Rock and Roll and the Midnight achieved together, and the fact the Rock and Roll are in there, you know, it would make sense. They brought Cornette back. They put him in front of a live mic. He was all right. But, I mean, there is something satisfying about that gulp from the front row when you watch that back.
You never know. You never know what he's going to say. Shots fired. Moving on. Aleister Black's title plan shot down by Vince McMahon. This is a really interesting one. It comes from the man himself, Aleister Black, taking to Twitch, addressing his release by WWE and his larger thoughts about the company as a whole. Talk to us about this title match, or this title win, rather.
So he brought up the fact, you know, through various things he was talking about, he brought up the fact that he was slated to win a belt, championship title belt, but it was scuppered by...
No belt, full stop.
A belt
holds your trousers up, pal.
But it was scuppered by Vince himself. And initially he felt that was a good thing because Vince's reasoning for it was apparently, well, what's the point of doing it now when we can do it in front of a crowd and it'll get a much bigger response? And so he felt the company were looking out for him on that respect.
Bollocks. That's bollocks. Big E won the IC title in front of nobody.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Big E did that there. It meant a hell of a lot too. What I don't understand about these recent releases, everybody seems to be coming out and saying, well, Vince really, really loved me, but there was nothing for me and all that sort of stuff. Well, if he really loved what you were doing that much, you probably wouldn't have been released. It sounds like lip service to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. But I mean, it's more that I think at the time is how he meant it. Like at the time, he saw that as like a. Well, if they're saving this for a crowd, it means they're going to get behind me and they're going to make sure there's a big reaction so it can be played back type thing.
It's an excuse.
But it is, of course, an excuse. But I mean...
It would have really helped him as well,
Massively.
Like, he's somebody who could have really, really done with that. It would have helped him out a hell of a lot. And I'm really sad that didn't happen as well, because he would have been really great with that particular belt. But there you go. I imagine we're going to be hearing a lot more from Aleister Black. Just the fact that he's already got this outlet. He's already been very, very outspoken about his release and everything that went down there. I think we'll be hearing a lot more, and I think a lot of it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Looking forward to seeing where he pops up as well. And finally, a brand new title match has been revealed for Hell in a Cell. What's going down, Samuel?
So, last night's SmackDown saw Bianca Belair issue a challenge to Bayley for a title match at Hell in a Cell. Bayley accepted, and then it just evolved into Bayley cackling maniacally across, all of the Thunderdome screen. She's great, isn't she?
Yeah, she really is.
It's a run back of the Backlash Mania Lash, whatever it was, show with then Belair retained there, and we got two pretty solid We've got two pretty solid in-ring workers capable of a lot of really good stuff here, so it should be a great match.
Sometimes it's frustrating when you get a rematch so close to the original pay-per-view or whatever, but these two are great together, and they had really good chemistry. Looking forward to it. Just to recap what we know so far about Hell in a Cell. On the card, we got Bayley versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title. We got Charlotte versus Rhea for the Raw Women's title. We got Drew versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. We have got no confirmation as to whether or not any of these will be inside the cell itself. I think they're probably... You know what? First of all, I hope they only do one, at most two Hell in a Cell matches, but ideally one, and I think that should be safe for Roman, especially considering last year Hell in a Cell was absolutely insane. Him and Jay just tore the house down with that match, and now you throw Jimmy in the mix and you've got a 33.333 chance of having a fun time and somebody getting busted open hard way. Looking forward to it. Great SmackDown last night. Really, really enjoyed it. Thought it was decent. And Hell in a Cell shaping up to be a hell of a card. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. Much appreciated, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. It's beautiful weather out there. I don't know why you're sitting about watching wrestling news. Go and have yourself a pint if you're allowed. But do also watch the channel, because we
watch it really loud when you're sat outside the pub. This is your homework.
Or put it on everyone's phone. Yeah. One phone each. And try
take an HDMI cable to the spoons, and that screen they put their little deals on. Just plug it in there, and then blast this.
You're allowed to do that. You're at
we
Tim
are
Martin,
giving you permission.
Yeah, absolutely. You right. See ya.